Yeah, I hope you brought your sleeping bag for executive sessions.
Oh, Christ. Oh,
Yeah, Warren's got that whole folder right there, so. Tax security cases.
I saw those bills in there.
Thank you.
Okay, we got 3 on all this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful.
We're all set. You know that. Did you see the note that John gave us an explanation? I think he's gonna read it.
This? Yeah, I read it prior.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're all good with it, so.
All right, I'll call this meeting in order. Will everybody please rise for the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First things first, I need a motion to accept Amanda Wyatt for temporary clerk for tonight's meeting.
I'll make that motion.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We need the approval of the minutes from June 18th town board meeting.
I'll make that motion.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Can I get a motion to accept the town clerk's report?
So move.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Bills, general bills, check number 22525 through 22526 and 22529 through 22531. Check number 22532 through 22567. Highway bills, check 22525 and 22527 through 22528. Check 22569 through 22588 and 22535 and 22551. Lighting district, check number 22531. Water district, check 405. And another water district, check 406. Can I get a motion on those bills?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So 5, all right, at this time, can I get a motion to open the public hearing in regards to the revised local law, Pine Plains Code, Chapter 7?
Make that motion.
Can I get a second? All in favor? Warren?
Yeah, that was just a change in the law requested by the Conservation Advisory Council, some minor changes.
good.
Assuming it will stop functioning at the board, so I recommend that we pass the law.
Does anybody from the public like to speak in regards to this? Okay, oh, go ahead.
Exciting to see the CAC try and be as thoughtful and thorough as possible, and this will really help us do that. So I'm just appreciating.
Anybody else? Okay. Can I get a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
You need a vote on anything here, Warren?
Yes.
Need a vote? Roll call?
Yep.
Supervisor Walsh, aye. Councilwoman Birdsall.
Aye.
Councilman Roush.
Aye.
Councilwoman Cisco.
Aye.
Councilman Walsh.
Aye.
Anything else, Warren? It's up to you.
Couple of things. we have been working on a couple amendments to the town code. One with regard to farm standards, if you remember, we had enacted a proposed local law that would change our regulations of code with regard to farm stands. And we sent that up to Dutchess County Department of Planning. And they had some comments on that, and they suggested is that we leave the farm stands local law that we have now in place. It's good, it's consistent with the way farm stands are regulated throughout Dutchess County and throughout the state. But we have amended the provisions with regard to farm markets. And the amendments were intended to liberalize and enhance the ability of individuals to open up farm markets, because this is an agricultural community, and we want to encourage that type of use within the town. So we spent a lot of time at the planning board meeting yesterday, and I spent a lot of time the last 2 days working on this. And then today, I put it into final form. Janine had some suggestions which I incorporated. And then we had additional suggestions which were contrary to Janine's suggestions by Michael Stabile, the chairman of the planning board. And we have agreed that we will accept the local law as suggested, that it be amended by Michael Stabile and the planning board. That came in to my office at 5:30 tonight, so I didn't have a chance to accept those red line changes, but we have a red line copy of Michael's local law. And let me see if I have. This is Michael's, and give a copy of Michael's. So basically what we're providing here for farm markets is that it's going to be a use permitted in the H business, HMS, HB, HPC, residential, WP and LI zoning districts, subject to a special use permit and site plan review by the planning board, subject to these additional requirements. The farm market may be operated, but as a accessory or a principal use of the property. So it doesn't have to be an accessory. It can be a principal use of the property. The farm market shall not be required to be located on the same property as an agricultural operation. The intent here is to allow produce and farm produce to be produced off-site, not necessarily on the same property that the farm market is located. The next provision, and this is incorporating Michael's changes, at least 33% of the total amount of the annual retail sale of agricultural, horticultural, etc., listing all the agricultural products, must be produced on the property on which the farm market is located, or on another agricultural property within 500 miles. So the idea is to encourage farm markets to sell agricultural products, regardless of the fact that where they are produced. Notwithstanding those provisions, the farm market. I'm reading the changes. So, give me a second here. Notwithstanding the aforementioned restrictions, the farm market may sell supporting agricultural products and agricultural products not grown on the property, we have to amend Michael's, he did need a couple of words in there. Within a 500-mile radius of the town of Pine Plains, provided that said products do not exceed 2/3 of the total annual retail sales of the farm market. Where the majority of the agreements are grown on a farm, processed foods may also be sold by the farm market, and receipts and records of such purchases must be kept by the owner applicant. And the supporting farm market products shall not include prepackaged grocery items or tropical fruits. The idea is to make sure that they sell local farm products or within the region. We have a statement in there, the purpose of this provision is to ensure that farm markets are limited primarily to the sale of locally grown products. And a conventional grocery store or supermarket shall not be deemed to be farm market, and those are different uses. We also have provided that the farm market may sell prepared foods for off-site consumption, so long as such sales do not exceed 20% of the retail sales of the farm. It should be, you put farm stand, it should be farm market. So we have to change that. Farm market may sponsor and conduct farm and harvest festivals on site, provided that the number of festivals conducted by the farm market each year is not greater than 4, and the festivals are designed to provide agricultural marketing and promotional opportunities for the agricultural operation and or the region's agricultural producers, and further provided that each such festival receives planning board approval in conjunction with the special use permit. That's actually consistent with what we have in our current law. 2 more sections. Farm market can be operated on a year-round basis. Farm stand is only it's a temporary use. It's not intended to be a year-round use. And they contain bathrooms and or an area for food preparation occupying no more than 10% of the gross floor area of the market. And the last section is the planning board shall have the power to permit a structure or use of space exceeding the maximum building allowed in the applicable district, or allow a building containing a second story and or allow food preparation area to occupy a greater percentage of the gross floor area of the market without the requirement of an application for an area variance, provided that the applicant can demonstrate that such additional square footage and or storage area and or larger food preparation areas are shown to be necessary to the proposed farm market operation and will not produce an undesirable change in the character of the neighborhood, et cetera, et cetera. And that's the law. I think as we finally amended this, and we're going to save Michael's red lines and get a clean copy so that the local law can be set down for a public hearing at the next town board meeting. Because we really, we do have to let the public read and understand this law before it's voted on. And we have to send it down to Dutchess County Planning also.
Can I get a motion to set up a public hearing for 8/20 at 7:05?
So moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Public hearing tonight. That what we're
Right.
doing is revoking the resolution that I prepared,
Right.
revokes the farm stand local law that we had previously submitted. That's, we're not doing that. So we're moving forward only with the farm market local law.
Correct.
So we need to do a public hearing at the next meeting, correct? Yeah,
And that's what we.
that's what we just passed.
Yes.
All in favor, we, yeah.
All in favor?
Uh,
Aye. Do you have anything else, Warren? Do you have anything else?
Yeah, we have another local law. This one is a lot simpler than the farm market law, which really was difficult to produce. And this is a local law. Let me see if I can find the file for it.
What line?
No, this is, I got it somewhere. This is the split parcel rezoning law. And this is, being enacted because, and I'll read the intent, of the law. Article 11, section 275-56V of chapter 275 of the Pine Plain zoning code sets forth, reading the wrong one. Okay. Here it is. Reading the same law. Okay, so this law, I have a legislative intent provision. And what we realized is, as in amending certain aspects of the zoning map with regard to the HR and HMS zoning district boundaries, there existed at least one parcel of land that was bifurcated by the HR and HMS zoning districts. The problem is that in the HMS zoning district, the provisions are more liberal in terms of how you can use your property. In the HR, they're more restrictive. So when you have a property that's split in that manner, we have a provision in our law that says, in that case, the less restrictive zoning district would apply, but only 30 feet into the lot. We found at least one property that was seriously affected by this, and decided that it was best to amend this local law to provide that in such a situation in the HR and HMS zoning district, where the property is partially located within those two districts and consists of 5 acres or less, the less restricted portion of the lot shall extend to the rear of the lot. So originally, we had put forth a law which would have required property owner to go to the zoning board of appeals for an area variance. And we got some criticism from Dutchess County Planning. They didn't think that was a good idea. So in order to address the concerns of Dutchess County Planning and to make the law more usable, we're amending the code to add that language. This one, I think it's kind of a minor change in the law. And we had it scheduled for a public hearing. I think we can go ahead and take comments on it.
We don't have the schedule for a public
Oh, you
hearing.
don't have it? Okay,
No.
so let's adjourn this one to the next call.
I need a motion to hold this public hearing on 8/20 at 7:06.
So moved.
Can I get a second? All in favor?
Aye.
And I think that's it. I do have some things to discuss with you in executive session. So.
Okay. Thank you, Warren. All right. We're gonna open up public comment. I'll start with, thank you to police department, fire department for handling traffic during the triathlon. They had well over 100 participants. And thank you to the highway for the placement of the flags for the 4th of July and the 250th anniversary. Anybody else on the board have anything? Public comment? Public comment?
What's it? Public comment?
Just wondering if you got a copy of that.
No, no?
No.
No. All right, we're gonna open this to the floor. If you're here to speak something in regards to the police department, please hold that public comment till later on in the evening. So the floor is open. Nelson?
So,
I know.
We're filming, I was gonna stand over there, but, my name is Nelson Zeiss on North Main Street. Here again tonight, as your second lieutenant for the Pine Plains, Rescue Squad, which is under the umbrella of the Pine Plains Post Company. So, with the document you have, although I'm gonna be presenting the second quarter stats, I gave you the complete, 6 months there. I tried to make this a little bit more user friendly, so I can just quickly go over the colors again and how I set this up before I start on the second quarter statistics. So the first column are the run numbers. The second column are the dates. The third column are the response times for priority 1 calls. Those are the more serious calls as deemed by the dispatcher. And then the last column are the response times for priority 2 through 4. In the first column, when you see blue squares, those are calls where those are fire calls where the ambulance was not dispatched, typically like an automatic fire alarm. So those do not factor into the statistics. If you see a pink box in the first column, that's a call that will be recorded as Pine Plains did not respond. So we'll be talking about all of those calls. And then the orange calls in the priority 1 column are the priority 1 calls with a response time greater than 9 minutes. That's how the county, that's one of the stats that they look at is our priority 1 calls being gotten to in less than 9 minutes. All right, so we can go to your page 3. Also, I think I failed to mention, when I skip a line, that's because each month, so you have the run numbers, then I skip a line for that month, and then I start the next month. So we're starting on call number 100, was the start of the second quarter. By the way, we are now in mid-July. I have yet to see any stats for 2026. My purpose, if you remember, the first time I was here I was hoping that we can compare, and if there was a difference, then we would take the next step to see where the difference is in the stats. So I'm sorry, that's all you have to go.
They were supposed to be out this weekend. Obviously, they didn't get out.
Okay, so we'll start with call 101. We saw this last time. This was dispatched at 13:58:07. The ambulance was en route within 5 minutes, 14:03:32, and it was canceled by a Pine Plains Post Company member. I believe this was a lift assist, so the issue was resolved, not needing the ambulance to be on the scene. I suspect because the ambulance didn't make it to the scene that it will be recorded as we did not respond. And by the way, Trevor, you had asked for those kind of calls when it happens. That was a Thursday. What?
I was thinking of like the time of the call.
You're getting those on the other ones.
Yeah, okay.
Well, I gave you the times. The
Yeah.
dispatch at 13:58, so you have the time for that one. So going down to call 115, that was a 22 response time for the priority 1 call. I don't have any more information on that. I don't recall whether that was a long distance away, I don't remember. Call 119, we did not respond to. That was a Tuesday, 11:22 a.m. Call 121, we did not respond. That was a Wednesday, 6:02 a.m. Call 141 on your page 4. We had a priority 1 response time of 12 minutes and 34 seconds, so a little bit above the 9 minutes. Call 146. It's a documented response time of 22 minutes, and I'm telling you that that's wrong. We were en route at 18:03. It shows us on scene at 18:21, and Empress on scene at 18:14. Our ambulance was definitely there before Empress by 5 to 7 minutes. So I don't know where they came up with this number. I thought maybe they even got our time with Empress mixed up, but I don't think that even works out because of where the call was. It wouldn't have taken that long to get there. So I don't know what happened there, but I'm telling you that 22-minute is not correct. I skipped a few others that I wanted to just touch base on real quick. Call 130. Yeah, take a look at this one. We were dispatched at 16:22:17. We were en route at 16:25:49, and we are so good at what we're doing that we arrived on the scene, according to them, 2 seconds before we left the firehouse. So explain that. I don't know. Okay, call 134. It was a 13-minute, 36-second response time. It was priority 2 through 4. I don't know which one it was. But there was a Pine Plains EMT on the scene before the ambulance got there. Both wounds were clean and dressed before the ambulance arrived. Call 136, a 7-minute, 9-second response for priority 2 through 4. There were 2 EMTs on the scene before the ambulance got there. Call 137, priority 1 call. The ambulance got there in 5 minutes and 58 seconds, and there was already an EMT, Pine Plains EMT on the scene. Aspirin was given before the ambulance got there. Call 138, priority 1 response time of 4 minutes and 22 seconds, and there was already a Pine Plains EMT on the scene. Narcan was administered before the ambulance got there. So again, the message I'm trying to get is, even with good response times, there are, I don't know if I can say many times, but several times where we already have someone on the scene even before the ambulance gets there, even with these good response times. Call 143, it was an 18-minute, 4-second response time, priority 2 through 4. This was actually a Mylan call and they had no one available, so then they bumped it to, I think it's called Mutual Aid, where they call us out. I believe on the app, it said that Empress was 34 minutes out. So because we're responding to Mylan, that probably explains why it was an extended response time. Call 145, priority 1, response times 3 minutes, 16 seconds, and there was already a Pine Plains EMT on the scene. Call 146, I already spoke about. Call 152, priority 2 through 4 call, response time 8 minutes, 1 second. It was a fire, and there were 3 EMTs already on the scene. Typically, if it's a fire in our district, they will dispatch the ambulance in case, the firemen need assistance, or, in case anybody has smoke inhalation or anything like that. Okay, moving on. Call 158. Priority 2 through 4, response time 8 minutes, 44 seconds. There was a Pine Plains Host Company member on the scene. The wounds were dressed, the collar was already on. So that was obviously some sort of car accident, I think, or a fall. Call 159. We had a priority 1 response time of 10 minutes and 11 seconds, so a little bit above the 9 minutes, but there was already a Pine Plains Host Company member on the scene and the wound of the patient was already dressed. Call 160, priority 2 through 4 call, response time 11 minutes, 40 seconds. There were multiple Pine Plains Host Company members on the scene of the fire. Call 163 was a priority 1 call. As you see, we had a slightly extended 9 minutes and 48 seconds, so we missed that by a little bit there. Call 164, priority 1 call, response time 56 seconds. The EMT was on the scene. Basically, the call went there first before it went out. Call 165, we did not respond to because the ambulance from call 164, we were at Vassar. So there was no one to respond. We didn't have an ambulance to respond. So that's going to be as if we never responded, I suspect. These next batch of pink are all kind of under the same umbrella. Our ambulance was out of service, needed some work to be done. We had the flag car available plus our personal vehicles. But again, because the ambulance itself did not go to all these calls that I'm going to mention, I suspect that, I don't know how this works. Maybe they don't count it against us. I'm kind of giving you the worst case scenario
I would
here.
hope they didn't.
It does.
So call 169, 5571 is out of service. EMT, Pine Plains EMT was on the scene in less than 6 minutes. It was recorded on the notes, but because the ambulance wasn't dispatched, it was not recorded. Call 170. They had a response time of 8 minutes and 8 seconds because they will record if a chief calls in. So a rescue chief was on scene. The Pine Plains EMT was on the scene within 5 minutes. The rescue chief was there in 8 minutes and 8 seconds as documented by the system there. And we actually, because we didn't have an ambulance, we actually transported in Mylan's ambulance. So it was our crew with a Mylan driver for that call. Call 171, I have no idea what happened here. It was a fire call, but the address was 14 Congress Court, Poughkeepsie. I don't know why they dispatched, any of us, some error there.
They hit the button. The
Okay.
buttons are close together on the computer, so.
Okay. Call 172, again, ambulance out of service, Pine Plains EMT on the scene in less than 5 minutes. Two of the host company members also showed up. Another Pine Plains EMT showed up shortly after. Call 173, again, ambulance out of service, Pine Plains EMT in less than 6 minutes. Call 174, ambulance still out of service, EMT on the scene in less than 5 minutes. One more EMT and two other host company members arrived to the scene. Call 175. Still, I think, let's see what it says here. Dispatch 1746, en route 1749, so 3 minutes, 40 seconds later, we were en route. The on-scene time, for whatever reason, was not recorded. We had 3 Pine Plains EMTs on the scene with 2 other Pine Plains host company members. So whether they never heard us calling that we were on the scene, I'm not sure. Call 176. The ambulance was en route to Northern Dutchess Hospital. And there were 2 Pine Plains EMTs, so that was from the previous call, but there were 2 Pine Plains EMTs that responded to the scene in less than 5 minutes. Call 177, Pine Plains EMT was on the scene prior to 5571 arriving. So I think those were all the batch where we were out of service. Call 178. I have here that that's definitely wrong. It says dispatch it has a response time of 6 minutes and 19 seconds, priority 1. Dispatch 213721, en route 274128, on scene 215018, and we were staging for police clearance. So that's something where we have to wait for the police to say the scene is safe for the ambulance to go in. Call 179, priority 1 call, our response time was 12 minutes and 57 seconds. So overall, again, I'm counting all of those out of service and everything, all the pink ones that I just spoke about. We have 12 calls out of 65 that we did not respond to on paper. That's 18.5%. I argue that the real number is only 3 calls out of the 65, which is 4.6%. Our priority 1 response time for the second quarter was 7 minutes and 18 seconds. So, well below the 9 minutes. And then January through June, we have 25 calls out of 138 that we did not respond to. That's 18%. I will argue that that's really 12 out of 138 for 8.7% that we didn't respond to. And our priority 1 response time for the first half year is 8 minutes and 18 seconds. So we were a little bit above the 9 minutes for the first quarter, we're below that for the second quarter. So on average, it's 8 minutes and 18 seconds. So that's what I have for you. If you have any questions, again, the message I'm trying to give you is that the numbers you see, and I get it. That's the numbers you get, and that's the number the newspapers get. Why would you doubt that? I'm trying to give the public a clearer picture of what's happening behind the scenes, and that things are not as bad as what they may appear on the, on paper. Any questions?
I have a question.
Yeah.
So when the ambulance is out of service,
Uh-huh.
what do you do? Like, do you alert
We
some
still,
other
we
ambulance
still,
or somebody
we still get
else?
the pager will still go off, and we can either go to the scene or we can get the fly car, which is at the firehouse, but the fly car does not count as an ambulance, so even the fly car going
Right.
to the scene won't help these numbers. As you can see, almost all those calls, there were multiple EMTs on the scene, so yeah, I think we're doing a pretty darn good job of covering
Right.
our calls.
I'm just wondering if there's something in place where, like, if your ambulance, it was in the shop or something, right?
Yeah,
So do you alert some other ambulance service, say, if we need an ambulance, we're gonna be calling you, or how does that work?
dispatch knows that we were out
Okay.
of service. I don't know if they know to maybe call Mylan more quicker. I don't know how that works.
You want me to answer it? Okay.
Somebody.
So what happens when you put a piece of apparatus out, whether it's a fire apparatus or it's a ambulance? What happens is they backfill. So
Who's they?
the county,
Okay,
the county will backfill. So it's the next closest piece of equipment that's available. So,
you have to inform the county.
oh, anytime a
That-
piece of apparatus goes out of service, the county gets informed. So it's the county's responsibility to dispatch off of that. Usually the priority 3s and 4s, they dispatch mutual aid like Mylan or somebody like that. That's another volunteer service. And then any priority 1 you have or priority 1 or 2s, you have a ALS unit coming, which would be a paramedic, which would be Empress. But you're not always guaranteed to get a unit depending on how
Right.
busy the rest of the county is.
I have a question, the fly car,
Yep.
what is it?
Fly car is basically an SUV that has all the EMS stuff. The only thing it can't do is transport.
Doesn't have a stretcher, but it
Yes.
has everything else. Any other questions? So I initially intended to do this for a year, but I think you kind of get the picture. I don't know that I need to keep coming back unless you really want me to, but
Oh,
you know.
no, we love having you.
I think it would be great if, when we finally do get the statistics from the county, if you come back and help to compare those.
That's okay, except I won't be able to answer. I can explain my numbers. I
Yeah.
can't explain the
And-
county's
yeah.
numbers. So
Well,
bring someone from the county to that meeting, and then
Yes,
we're talking.
right.
But it's nice to
I
know
think
that
would be a good idea.
that the reason for the differences between the response time and reality is because they measure it by when the ambulance gets there.
Yeah.
And you measure it by when somebody gets there and starts helping.
Initial
And
care.
initial care, and I think that's a very important distinction.
And you saw
To
multiple
recognize.
calls where even under the 9 minutes, we had someone
Yeah.
on the scene.
Yeah.
Before the ambulance, so isn't that what counts, right? You know,
Right.
having someone there, the wounds are already dressed, you saw that
Is
already.
there some way they can count that, or is it?
It's, I don't dictate how they count them.
We asked that question the last time you were here. And we did not get a positive response to that from the county. They said they will, I mean, they will listen to that
Yeah.
statistic, but they will only
I
count
mean,
when
They
the
they answer to
ambulance.
a bigger crowd, so, you know.
I don't know the reason, but they said they would only count when the ambulance
Yeah.
shows.
And Nelson, you need to tell them that, like, most of the EMTs, especially you carry your bag with you all the time. So if there's an emergency, he's got everything in his bag, no matter where we are in town, he's switching that bag to whatever car. If he needs to, leaves me and goes. So, you know, a lot of the EMTs carry everything that they need all the time. So even though they're not taking the fly car, he's got everything to do that in an emergency.
Well, it's a tremendous responsibility and we're glad that you do it. It's great for the community and somebody needs to do it and you've stepped up and so I think as a town board, we really appreciate it and.
You know, again, this is a team effort, you know, there's a
Yeah.
whole crew, you know, of volunteer EMTs and drivers and the fire side also, so it's all part of the same package.
Wives opening up the gates when you're running out.
She's my Alfred, she opens up the gates of the back wheel.
Pajamas? I'm opening
All
up
right.
the gate like Alfred.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else have anything in public comment? Go ahead.
Right, say my name.
Yes, please. Just your name, it's fine.
Yelda. And the issue of executive meetings that are held, and just how to be, maybe a little more, excuse me, I'm losing my hearing aid, that's why I couldn't hear you. The stuff you have to do when you're older is just, okay, so now it's back in. To have a meeting of our town board without the town there is a pretty important step. And there are rules about that. And it's just important, I think, and I'm only here to emphasize it, not to point out any issues. But there are categories of permissible reasons for why you can go into executive session. And sometimes that's not always clear. And so if we could just asking for a reminder to say, we're going into executive session. It's not for necessarily attorney-client privilege. It's really for attorney-client privilege around a very specific set of items that the law states. So it would just be helpful for those, I'm picking on you, Attorney Raplansky right now. He said, well, and I have some stuff in executive session and we'll discuss it, right? But we need more than that. You're talking about hiring people, or you're talking about legal processes, or you're talking about employing people. So there are just some categories that for those of us who really care about the town, would be interesting and important, I think, for us to understand what the town board is dealing with. That's my issue. Thanks.
Anybody else have anything? Corey, go ahead.
Windows, doesn't matter here at all.
Yeah, yeah, they turned the air conditioner off over there, so.
I couldn't hear it. I couldn't hear it.
It is hot.
Thanks for working out. Sorry.
No, you're good, you're good, you're good.
Hear us on phone.
And
We're gonna open the front door to get cross draft. Anybody else have anything? Okay, we're gonna move into department reports. Highway.
Get letter approval, okay, sent out. We're doing our pre-work and the pre-work that we've gotten. And the film. Mowing the side of the roads is continued on, and we are trying to get our road well in stone. If we could just get the blacktop companies to keep rolling for us, so we can better save. That's about all I have.
Thank you, Carl. Did everybody receive the building inspector's report?
I just have a, when do we act on Carl's?
New business, new business.
Okay.
I have it done. Total new homes this year, 0. CO searches this month, 1. Site inspections this month, 11. Property maintenance issues this month, 4. COs this month, 4. Total permits to date, 32. Water and engineering, right?
Once we forward to the Department of Health, water flows continue to be, elevated, but they are. So, water supposed to be down, next week, should take a look at North Main Street, where we think that we have yet another leak at that particular location. We've also been speaking with a few homeowners, over the last quarter. It was noticed that they have very significant water bills as well. And so, they had running leaks within their residences and so forth, so we reached out to about a handful to a half dozen, regarding those items, because those also got up. 1 meter head was replaced, utility markouts were done along South Main Street and Academy Road for, construction projects. Both chlorinator pumps, the chemical feed pumps, the piping and fittings were cleaned and placed back in service. We just received our 6-month supply of sodium hypochlorite, which is chlorine, which we use for disinfection within the system. Water sample results came back for PFAS and PFOAs, PFOS, and those are the forever chemicals, as they're commonly referred to. We actually have none detected in our water system. In addition to that, the disinfection byproduct, those were well below any state standards. So again, we're full compliance of the water system. The results of those will be included in the annual water quality report that we issue in the beginning of 2027. Second quarter billing took place, so those meter readings were taken at the end of June, and the bills were sent out at the beginning of July. And I also attended a meeting with representatives of the Hudson Company and Dale Mitchell regarding the potential of installing a new 12-inch water line along South Main Street. So Hudson Company continues to evaluate their potential options as far as providing fire suppression for their projects. So just discussing what those options are with them. One of the considerations, I believe I mentioned in one of my past reports that I did receive in the past a phone call from Dutchess County that they were running into water issues at their outpost, their highway outpost. And and they were looking at the possibility of tying in to the water system. They have now resolved those issues by fixing the well that they had. And at this point, they identified that they are no longer interested in pursuing that option. So at this point, we're waiting for information from the Hudson Company with respect to the costs, what options they've been evaluating, and trying to do a comparison, trying to provide them information for them to be able to make an informed decision. They are also sharing that information, or will be sharing that information with the town board, because they are looking to see if the town can assist in any way or shape possible.
What do you know about that, being able to assist them? What, are there any regulations that you know of regarding that, whether we can or can't?
It's a decision up to the town. My point to them was, and anyone can correct me if I'm wrong.
Yep.
My opinion of assisting them is if they build it and they meet it- the town standards as far as the water material, as well as having the town inspected. If they turn it over to the town, that is to say, once it's complete, we inspect it, making sure that it meets full compliance. Obviously, they still have to go through health department rules and so forth. That once the work is done, that the town potentially would consider that water main being dedicated to the water district. And then that way the town would be responsible for future maintenance of it.
Mhm.
And that's commonly done.
Okay.
And also on that same note, we are giving them something, we're giving them the 15-year pilot.
Yeah.
So the first 3 years are gonna be no increase on any improvements.
Right, and it also came from the town. Originally, their entire design for fire suppression was a holding tank with a fire pump. And they pursued that for years.
Yep.
And we continue to say, why are you not looking at the option of a water main? And they finally have done that and realized, yes, it is a cheaper option.
Wow, interesting.
And then they wouldn't have to be responsible for the maintenance of it, whereas if they have a holding tank and a pump,
They
they have
the
to
whole
be
thing,
responsible.
right?
So it's not only I remind them, it's, again, if they do that with a holding tank and fire pump, they not only have to deal with the capital costs for that, obviously, but they have the reoccurring annual costs and then future replacement. Well, again, that's a mechanical item. It's gonna go bad at
Yeah.
some point, and within 25 years, they'll probably have to replace it.
They'll be lucky to get 20 out of
I
it.
agree.
Yeah,
I don't disagree.
yeah.
So at this point, we're just waiting for information.
Awesome.
Thank you, Ray.
Thanks.
Oh, I'm sorry, one other engineering item. I was putting together a request for proposal for the sidewalks within the, I'm calling it the Hamlet Park, maybe, I don't know if this is.
Town Center Park?
Town Center
We
Park,
call it
okay.
kind of,
Right,
yeah.
I called it the Pine Plains Hamlet Park, but I'll call it the Town Center Park. So I have that document together. The only thing I was waiting for was for the prevailing wage schedule from the Department of Labor. I hope to get that tomorrow, at which time I'll go ahead and I'll send it over to Janine, and that way you can review it, share it with the other members, and then we can get it on.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ray. Police Department.
On Monday, July 2026, at approximately 1:14 p.m., officers from the town of Pine Plains Police Department and the New York State Police responded to a reported motor vehicle collision on Route 199 near the intersection of Lake Road and Sissing Mountain Road. The collision involved town of Pine Plains Police Vehicle 7K165, operated by recent Police Academy graduate Officer Brian Johnson, with police officer Aaron Pantroy as a passenger, and the 2003 Lincoln driven by George Hill of Pine Plains. Emergency medical personnel responded to the scene. Mr. Hill initially declined medical treatment. Officers Johnson and Pantroy were evaluated at the scene and transported to Northern Dutchess Hospital. Officer Johnson was treated for minor injuries and released later that evening. Officer Pantroy sustained more serious but non-life-threatening injuries and subsequently transferred to Albany Medical Center for further treatment. He has since been released and is recovering at home. The New York State Police followed the rotational tow list protocol, and both vehicles were towed from the scene and secured at L&S home. In the interest of complete transparency, the leadership of the Town of Pine Plains Police Department requested that the New York State Police conduct a crash investigation. Town of Pine Plains Police Department also initiated an internal investigation, administrative review of the incident. According to the New York State Police investigation, Mr. Hill was stopped in the westbound lane on Route 199 while waiting for oncoming traffic to clear before making a left turn onto his driveway, when his vehicle was struck from behind by patrol vehicle 7K165. Officer Johnson advised investigators that he was scanning the right shoulder of the roadway and did not realize Mr. Hill's vehicle had stopped until the last moment. Dash camera footage from patrol vehicle 7K165 was reviewed by both the New York State Police and the Town of Pine Plains Police Department. The video showed both vehicles traveling westbound on Route 199, with patrol vehicle 7K165 following a considerable distance behind Mr. Hill's vehicle. Mr. Hill slowed and came to a complete stop to wait for oncoming traffic to clear before turning left. His brake lights and turn signal were clearly illuminated. The footage shows patrol vehicle 7K165 subsequently striking the rear of Mr. Hill's vehicle, causing damage to both vehicles. Based on the investigations conducted by the New York State Police and the Town of Pine Plains Police Department, it was determined that Officer Johnson was not under the influence of alcohol or drugs at time of collision. The department's internal investigation, which included a review of body-worn camera footage, further determined that Officer Johnson did not appear to be distracted by either a cellular phone or an in-the-car laptop immediately prior to the crash. At this time of the incident, Officer Johnson was still actively participating in the department mandated supervised field training program. The investigation concluded that the collision was non-criminal in nature and the driver's inattentiveness was primary contributing factor. In keeping with the department's commitment to transparency, all investigated materials, including police reports, statements, video evidence, were presented to the Town of Pine Plains Town Board by the Town of Pine Plains Police Department leadership. During the investigation, Officer Bryan voluntarily resigned from his position with the Town of Pine Plains Police Department. The investigation remains open. Anyone who may have witnessed the collision is encouraged to contact the Town of Pine Plains Police Department, 518-771-3338, or by email pppd@pineplains-ny.gov.
And we have his resignation, I think we have to accept that.
Anything else, John? At this time?
Yeah, for normal reports, I'll have copy for. I did give you a copy of the new Axon information. Kind of got to see that. We also, our Axon rep sent me information about a grant like we had last time. Provided by New York State. I only made 2 copies of that because it's 28 pages. So I'm sure that the printer is really feeling it. So we want to probably go with that grant again, which would probably most likely take care of the programs that we want to get the translator and the report writing. So I'm not really tech savvy on grants, but we'll be happy to learn how to do it. So if anybody knows, anybody that knows how to do grants, I would like to talk to them. We'll figure it out.
Stevie, we can do this in-house. I did the last one.
So would the grant cover the cost in its entirety or a percentage, or do we know?
Said for us, we were allotted, if we get it in time, if we apply for it in time, I believe up to 100, grand.
And what is the deadline?
September.
Oh,
Applications due September 2nd.
That's coming up fast.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I mean,
So I need a motion to allow them to pursue this grant opportunity. Okay, Stevie?
Explain.
What is it?
Axon, it's body worn cameras, the in-car systems, you know, dash cams, cage cameras. They also do in, the investigations, in rooms, so pretty much in-house cameras and stuff like that. Drones, our tasers, now they're expanding their stuff, so it's all in one house thing with report writing. So now it would translate the body camera information into a report for us. Instead of us trying to type out a report, it would help fill out everything for us. And then we would just have somebody look over it, make sure that's correct. And then also, they have a program now that is also a translator. So I believe that they're almost up to 100% languages. And with that, I could either say somebody speaking Spanish, I can say translate to Spanish, and it'll start translating right then and there. Or if I don't know what kind of language they're speaking, that will pick up stuff out of their communication, and then it'll pick up the language and say, oh, translating from Russian, you know, so.
And may I ask where all this data is held? Is it held only here in Pine Plains? Is it in a big country? Where
Most
is
people that have access
Axon
to it
is, it's only here, yes.
That's that in the power.
They often say.
Yes,
that.
it's in a storage thing,
So it's in, and
but no one else can look at it unless it's our access. So each of us have a sign-in thing, and everything's recorded, every strike of the key, every view of something, it tells who accessed it and everything. So Axon reps don't have Axon for, those people, employees,
Mhm.
don't have access to it.
And who is it shared with, in terms of other police stations? Is it the county? You know?
If it involves a case, like if a criminal charges or something like that, we can send the email to them. And we send the video or whatever needs to be done to like the DA's office. And then they have an access to it for a certain amount of time. They can't change anything, they can't doctor it, nothing. It's locked and that's it.
So basically they have these body cameras now. Every police agency has these body cameras. They're looking to add on the report writing and the translator to the body cams that they already have.
So you wouldn't be getting new body cameras, it would just be in addition.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest thing that I've observed from all of this is integration. The connectivity between devices and the triggering of the devices so that they work together as one system.
Yeah, they're pretty much linked. So say, the Dutchess County Sheriff's Office, their deputies are out on a call. And same thing with the state police, if we roll up onto their scene or we go and back them up within a certain amount of feet, our body cameras and the in-car cameras will activate.
And-
So,
And they're all in the record and they keep 30 seconds before they
Yep.
come on as well.
yeah,
Um,
so,
even that with the Axon tasers you guys have, those also, when they activate, those also activate the body cameras as well.
Yep.
so like our light bars, we go to stage 2 in the light and stage 3, it activates all the cameras. So, if we pull up to something or we're on a traffic stop and another unit's driving by, it'll activate their cameras.
Even our tasers, we have to pull our tasers out and activate them, and it activates the cameras automatically.
That's how we learned all that about that accident. Through the car camera, turning on and then showing us.
Yes, they do drones too.
Do we have drones
No,
We do not.
with this? With this?
We could use that for drones too. I mean, it would be kind of nice because, we could put a ring on it and fly it out to the lake if somebody's out there in the lake. You know, that means mountain. Yeah, or lost up on the mountain.
there's not enough money there, Stevie. Nice,
If-
nice
if-
try, bud.
if this-
Nice try, bud. Nice try.
That-
Yeah, you know, I mean, the one thing is this,
Yeah, but, yeah. Yeah, the sheriff's office and the state police have drones themselves.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like I said, it's a lot nicer if we had like one, especially if somebody needs help in the lake. Because getting down there, taking our gear off, and we don't have a police boat, so. We could get a paddle board.
Good shit,
We have a
yeah.
vote.
Nelson, you might be the first victim they try to fly out there to save.
Okay, so. Do I have a motion? To apply for this grant?
Absolutely, yes, I'll make that motion, yeah.
Can I get a
think-
second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I think the grant makes it very enticing, you know, the cost of it without that grant is.
Astronomical? Yep.
astronomical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Over several years, so.
But it-
Bill,
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 Bill, yeah.
Sizable, yeah.
In the way the grant is, it's per, it's set up per employees, so we're in the range of the 100,000.
Yeah.
So
I
that,
mean,
that's
it
a significant,
covers quite a bit of stuff, but.
Yeah.
mostly Tech is. The majority of it.
Alright. Thank you. You guys don't go anywhere yet? Did everybody receive the dog control report?
Yes.
Quiet month, 5 hours of admin and training. Did everybody receive the recreation report? Any questions?
do we want to discuss her few questions that are on the second half of that, about the about the
Pavilion?
reserving the pavilion and stuff like that, and maybe ask Warren about the trip, that kind of thing? Or
Well,
feelings about that,
Technically, the way I believe it is worded now, if there's no lifeguards on duty, the beach isn't supposed to be open.
well, no, there was the question, so there was a birthday party that happened there with the inflatable
Bouncy house?
rodeo,
Yep.
mechanical bull.
Yeah.
And the beach staff was unaware that it was happening, and how to enforce it or proceed with it. So I think that they were looking for possibly putting it out there if you wanted to have an event like that at the beach, a channel to go through it so they knew it was happening, and potentially having to have like the standard pavilion, when you rent their pavilion, you have to get an insurance policy for the day. If we would need to do something like that, which I would assume we should for if people are bringing.
The thing is, right now, the way the beach reads with the insurance policy, when there's no lifeguards on duty, no one's supposed to be at the beach. So technically, you're supposed to, if you drive by and you're a town employee, you're supposed to tell them they're
Yeah.
supposed to leave.
Well, this is
So you're opening up a can of worms,
No,
insurance wise.
During the day when lifeguards were on duty?
yes. And it was the same day that they were setting up for the triathlon as well. So I think that Jen felt like the beach staff was, and they were early in the season too, and overwhelmed, and kind of steamrolled by the situations that were happening.
So the parties these reservations and stuff could only happen when the beach is open?
Yeah,
Correct.
and I think that the rec assistants, the beach workers just wanted, a heads up if something like that was going to be
Yeah.
going on that day.
But we had no idea either.
Yeah.
Usually someone calls and asks if they're using it and they're directed to rec. We had no idea this was happening either.
I think sometimes, and I was going to talk to Stevie about this too, is sometimes the lifeguards and the people working there feel they have a tough time enforcing some rules there. Like, so there has been some situations when I've been down there where people have been asked to, not leave the ropes, and they just don't listen to the lifeguards. And I went and tried my best that one day, but I told them to call you guys. If they're not respecting the people that we hired to work at the beach, that would be the next step, is to have you guys come there and enforce the rules for them.
Probably should break something up so like we can trespass them.
Yeah. I don't know what it would be that, they're just defying
They might tell us we're not going nowhere.
Yeah, they're defying the rules that are being enforced by the lifeguards.
And the rules are posted on that board,
Correct, yeah.
right? So clearly they're there,
Yeah,
but you know, some of the kids are 17 years old, so some adults aren't listening to them.
I think what they've been struggling with is people coming on boats from the Lions Club launch and then coming over and docking them on the dock and swimming there, which they don't want.
So how would people know that that's a rule? Cause I don't think that's posted. Maybe we need to look at what the rules are and where they're.
Float,
Well, I think, yeah, they're docking on the float.
maybe put a sign on it.
I believe that I think that is a posted rule there
On the beach, or where is it posted?
There-
I don't even know.
Well,
Kinda comes
you
from the
can't,
dock.
yeah, and
Yeah,
you
you
can't tell them they can't come in on the beach or on the boat launch side. You can tell them they can't,
dock, yeah.
you can't dock on the dock.
Well, you think that you might wanna, have the Lions Club maybe post your rules too?
Yeah,
Going to, I mean. you can
Yeah,
ask
by
them.
the boat launch, that's a good
the
idea.
Lions Club has it clearly stated that you can't swim from that boat launch.
Correct.
But once you've left the boat launch and you're
Yeah.
out on the lake, you could swim off of your boat anywhere, and then they
Yes.
extend that to coming to the swim area, tying off on the dock, and then,
But why couldn't they say, you know, you can't dock on the town beach dock and
Yeah.
swim?
Yeah.
Yeah, some people might not know.
Right.
yeah.
But at the same time, why we haven't, we need to post it somewhere. We can't
Yeah.
make the Lions Club
Yeah.
post
that's-
it somewhere.
Where do you post it?
I-
Up on the fence line somewhere, you know,
Yeah, but
up in the air.
coming from the water.
Yeah, they're coming through the water, so,
On the raft, facing.
Yeah.
yeah, that would be the,
Yep.
yeah, that'd be the only place you, yeah,
No docking.
yeah.
Vic, I think Vicky had her hand up.
Pretty soon. you'll be finding the same.
Vicky, did you have something?
Always a ton of signs down there posted all around, and one of them was no trespass.
Yeah,
So I don't know whatever happened to that sign, but
they're all still there, yeah.
so there is a sign there that says no trespass. What I said to my mom was, I remember when I was young, going in and out, one of the rules was if you didn't follow the rules, the
The
police
police,
would come
yeah.
and you could be
I
asked to leave.
I think it's a situation of the people that work there don't want to do that, but if they keep having problems, that's what, you know.
Well,
that's
you're
what-
not
yeah.
gonna get around it if you
Yeah.
don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are we
But-
doing?
But I think I would ask you guys at some point to stop down there and introduce yourself, because you to the head lifeguard, he's a super nice kid. And I think it would help them out too.
Last time, the beaver.
So you might have to deputize a couple of lifeguards.
So, I mean, ultimately, any reservations or anything during beach time and everything should be taken care of down there.
Yeah.
With the beach
With the
director.
beach, they
Or
should
the
be,
head
they,
lifeguard.
it shouldn't be involved anywhere else, cause they
Yeah.
know the schedules, they know. Cause you won't wanna have an event if the kids are down swimming from camp,
Yeah.
Right.
cause you won't wanna intermingle those. So ultimately, it needs to,
So we have to make that public somehow, that if people want to have an event there during the beach hours, they need to contact the beach director at this phone number.
The Pine Plains, Jen and the rec staff have been doing a great job with the social media too, so I think that they can really
Yeah.
put that out
There you
there,
go.
and
Yep.
they've been doing a good job of getting information out on there.
And do you want a sign on the dock that says do not dock?
I think
I
we
think
should,
they should.
I think we should.
Who can do the sign?
Carl, who do we do our signs through?
Glencoe,
I mean,
Can you call them tomorrow and get a,
yeah.
do not dock on the dock? I think- Yeah, no docking on the raft. Yeah.
Off to raft.
That sounds like a glimmer.
yeah, I was gonna say the note, I mean, the easiest way would be to paint it on the dock itself, but it's gonna be hard with it in the water, so.
I just get a 2x2 sign. We'll stick a PVC pipe to the side of the raft and just stick the sign right to it on the corner.
Somebody will
Um,
rip it off.
Jen just texted me and asked if what she's actually asking is to create a form, possibly to have at the beach that they could, reserve.
Absolutely, Jen, you can create that form. Did she respond back?
She didn't, but
And then once that happens, she with you can discuss whether there's gonna be an insurance policy required if they have any sort of.
yeah, we could put on the form like.
Well, there should,
Yeah.
I don't think there should be any equipment. That's
Yeah.
a huge,
That's a huge one.
regardless if you have insurance or anything, absolute.
Like
Our
that-
insurance
Yeah.
company would go through the roof over that.
Okay.
No way.
So no.
I think the town of Stanford's policy is just to use the pavilion, and that's not, you're not bringing anything else in other than, your food and beverage.
I would like to know where they got this inflatable mechanical bull, cause I might wanna rent that. That could be pretty entertaining. No,
It
No.
looked very fun.
You saw it?
so you saw it and you didn't tell them they had to take that out of the water?
I saw them packing it up. Good Lord. No, it wasn't in the water. It was.
I'm gonna have to Google that now.
Yeah.
All right.
With the big, for big people.
Okay. CAC.
Gail, I don't know if you want to say, Lauren couldn't come at the last minute. I mean, she sent me something, but if you would like to give a report, then.
I will just say that, I've been swimming almost every day going through the newly developed little very low key access. And I've seen these like Hallmark movie, people's like, my daughter hasn't been in this lake since she was 12. And just like, the mother's really happy, the daughter's really happy. I saw two guys like, I didn't know you still lived here. Yes, I still live here. So there's been, and there's not hundreds, like 4 or 5 people who do it. So I think we're really excited to start that. I think there's a lot of undone work that we would like to do in terms of making it sort of easy and a little more beautiful and really making it an environmental education place with great non-invasive plants and those kinds of things. But for a very, what do you call it, for a very soft opening, I think it's been terrific, and the support of every single person on the board has been amazing. And so we've been very excited by that. We are still waiting for something from the Department of Environmental Protection to tell us when the $55,000 we're getting is going to come. They said, yes, you're definitely going to get it. And then it's been radio silence. So I don't understand that it's a bureaucratic thing. But there is also interest. There's been increasing interest for people to be part of the CAC. They've started to write us. People are talking to us. So I just feel like there is energy, and when we get to doing the natural resource inventory, one of the things we must do is engage the community, and we're hoping to work with the board to really do that effectively. So people who are interested in this get their voices heard, and we can use some of that money to guide the Hudsonia people, the folks from Bard College, who will do, I call it the scientific work. And
Question on that. That grant, was that a reimbursement grant?
You hadn't spent the money.
No, you.
So they're just cutting us a check?
I don't know that
Most likely it was probably a reimbursement grant where you spend the money, you fill out the paperwork, and then you get reimbursed. They're not just gonna hand you a check.
No, that's right.
So that's probably why you have not received, you received the cover letter that you've been awarded the grant, correct?
In process though until they have what they call a kickoff meeting.
Okay,
And we
okay.
keep looking for-
Okay.
But if there are particular things that would be helpful for the town in terms of, I don't know what their periodic reimbursement cycle is, but I would hope it would be monthly. I don't know if you have any experience.
I believe it's as you submit it. Soon as as you submit, you collect up, you submit that dollar amount, and then state's turnaround is actually pretty quick. Yeah,
Be on the CAC to be vigilant about asking for the money, that's good to know. And
we just need to note of when you spend money, what it was for and whatnot, because we have to be detailed when we close that out. And so we know what our running count is.
When we have this kick-off meeting, which again is not scheduled yet, and we can't start anything, but would you like a member of the board to be there or somebody from
Sure,
your office? That would
Sure.
be terrific. So then we will do it as effectively as possible.
sure.
Well, yeah.
Yep.
I mean, unless it's next.
That's it.
Yeah, just wanted to add one thing that Lauren said that at the last meeting that the CAC had come up with it, gonna create a form for people to fill out of things that they would like the CAC to do and to be involved with. And they would like to have would like to have a website.
Yes,
And
yes,
and you're awaiting an email address,
yes.
CAC email address.
Folks from the community will send stuff to me or ask me a question. I try and put them back to Lauren or to Murphy. So, yeah, anything we can do to advance that, I would be sure.
I thought the CSC had an email.
There's not something that goes to the CAC. There are, so if you can have individual ones that are, it would come up as if I'm a town board member, which I'm not, and neither is Lauren. So it goes to an individual. So that's what we have, not something that is, I don't know what to call it, but like a bulletin board or a generic thing.
You know, like the planning board
Yes,
has
exactly.
an
They
email,
have
but
yeah,
I don't think CAC doesn't, and some of the committees don't.
Yeah.
Have generic email accounts.
Yeah.
But it's a good idea.
Okay. Beautification, Viggy?
The biggest thing is the park, which Ray has been helping us, and what kind of our path is, I think eventually get in there. We've worked on that for quite a while. But with Ray's help, it's coming along, so that's good. Also in the town park, we're gonna do a little bit more landscaping. Gonna fix up around the box, the electrical box. So that's in the works also. Also, we've been trying to move one of the town signs now for probably 6 months, 8 months, for quite a while. And we finally got permission from the landowner that the sign in front of Stewart's Step down in that area, which is kind of like down in a hole. We're gonna move it further out of town, just, not far, but just enough so that people will see it.
Okay.
They're also working on having the back of the signs painted, putting on some kind of a logo. I don't know what the final verdict was. Thank you for coming, or it was something on the back with a little design, and trying to get the same person to do that made the signs. Was the signs, and that's it.
On that same note, can you ask that person, can we possibly do something about the sign out here? Please? See if they'd be interested in,
Oh, yeah, sure.
Did he did that sign?
I don't know if he did the sign or not, but the sign needs to be repaired. If he's doing the other local signs, we can pay him to do that. Thank you. Old business?
Any news on dark sky compliant lighting? I know that the CAC was working on a little bit, Carl was working, Carl was doing a lot. Okay.
Oh, I will.
And,
The double wood stuff too, I guess I meant to ask during Eddie's.
what's that?
The multiple,
Double
the double
poles.
pole
Yeah.
law.
Did he get a hold of you?
No.
No?
He talked to me about it a little bit last night. He said that he hasn't seen, even though they promised activity, he hasn't seen it. I've seen one pole come down on Lake
Yeah.
Road.
We need to take legal action
Yeah.
now.
Oh, yeah.
Enough's
I'll
enough.
talk to you about that in a second.
Okay,
We
'cause
are,
we need to find them.
I can tell you now.
Yeah. Yes,
We
everybody's aware of the double
I
poles,
did
so.
get the report from Dog Enforcement Officer.
Yep.
His files. It looks like he made contact with Central Hudson, and there was a person who seemed to be cooperating.
Consolidated communication.
Yeah, what,
It's not Central Hudson. Central Hudson doesn't own the poles. It's consolidated.
yeah, it's a different
So that's who he made,
one that I saw, but in any event.
that's who he was talking to.
He did make contact with somebody.
Yes.
They promised to take care of it. It's a huge undertaking. There are so many poles. And they just stopped communicating with them. So I'm going to communicate with the same person that Ed had communicated with and tell them that.
You're probably close to a year that
Yeah.
we initiated this. We've been pretty lenient, so.
We've been
Yeah.
very lenient
Yeah.
since we made the law. I mean, we're coming on 4 years now since they replaced the poles and left the old ones standing.
I don't know what the problem is because I haven't been involved in it, but I will speak with them and get up to speed on it. And we'll tell them that if they don't comply, that we're gonna take, I think the solution would be to take them into Supreme Court, bringing them into Justice Court and fining them $300 or whatever. That's gonna be crazy.
Well, there
Oh,
was some sort of, there was.
No.
$50 a pole per month.
Yeah.
Per day.
Per day.
Yeah.
It's a schedule that was determined already, so why can't?
And I believe there's 80 some odd poles there.
we
Yeah,
might
there's-
be able to buy
Nope.
that,
Yeah.
well,
Well, before we take any legal action, I'll come back to you and then we'll discuss what the appropriate way of handling this is. I'm more inclined to bring it into Supreme Court and get an injunction, a mandatory injunction, but let me find out how cooperative they are and see if we can get them moving. Sometime when there's threat of litigation, they'll move more
Right.
quickly.
what town was it that, George Keeler told us had begun the fining schedule?
Geez, I don't remember now. It was so
We-
long.
That was a while ago.
That was
We'll
like
look back
a
in the
year and a
minutes
half ago.
Find out.
Yeah.
They had.
I also have to verify who the legal entity is responsible for these polls, but I want to verify, I've asked Ed to confirm that with me, I haven't heard back from him.
Consolidated Communications. They're the last one down to the telephone company.
Yeah,
It goes power company, cable company, telephone company. Telephone company is the last one on that pole. They own those poles now.
okay.
Yep, it's Consolidated Communications.
And they're the ones that don't want to take them down because they're not paying any rent to be there.
That is
As soon as they
correct.
Move their wires over to the main utility pole, now they have to pay rent.
That is correct.
So let's hope that they've saved enough money to cover the fine they're about to pay.
Let me just see what the,
We need that drone.
who Ed has been dealing with there.
Why do they, like, people still have home phones? Cause I
Yeah.
tried to get one from them and they were like, no way.
Yes, they do, but the thing is, they also have fiber running through town.
Ah,
Some people are eligible to have fiber,
I see.
and they've cut their prices down on fiber compared to the cable company right now. So some people are going to the fiber.
So I don't have that name, but I have Fidium, is that the same thing?
Same thing, same thing, same thing. Yep,
So I'll be in.
that's the mother company now. They just sold out. Yep. Yep.
It's better to get them to voluntarily provide them too.
Well, let's get rolling on that.
Yeah.
This is the first that's been handed to me, so.
Well, you got it now, Warren, so
Thanks, I appreciate it.
No problem.
We do too.
Gutters on the library. Any,
We're gonna have to hire a company to come in and, cause there's no way I'm putting any of our employees on that roof.
right. So,
Unless you guys wanna rent a Lowell and. Will Rich go up there? With Lowell?
library.
Library gutters.
Library gutters, they're way up in the air. Looking for
I'm
volunteers.
getting too old for that.
I'm not asking you to
At-
do
at-
it.
at-
You what?
At a meeting-
To hire somebody.
At about 2 meetings ago, didn't we talk about potentially looking into getting gutter guards, and they would have to, the company would also have to
Yeah.
clean them out to put the gutter guards on?
Yeah.
Kill two birds situation.
Let
Do
me
we
make,
need to, do we need an RFP for that? for
No.
gutter guard?
no. Let me make a few phone calls, get some prices for next meeting.
And, yeah, I hate to poke the bear, but the drain at the library.
Oh, he's supposed to be getting to it.
Yeah.
Your husband,
I know.
took up all this time, so,
Face free now.
Is that what it
Yes.
is? Yeah, he's done with that job.
so. I'll see him tomorrow, I think. Yeah, yeah. Yep. Cause you guys are probably gonna have to blacktop around. Yep, 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 yep.
That's all I got.
Yeah, we're doing both of them. Both of them.
That's all I got.
Murphy, anything old business? Kevin? Trevor?
No.
Okay. New business. I need approval for the resignation of Brian Johnson from the police department.
I'll make that motion.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Uh,
We need to hire a medical director for the camp. We do that every year and unfortunately it kind of fell through the cracks. So we need to, I make a motion that we hire Nia Casanelli to be the medical director on call at the camp for this summer.
Who is she?
She's the, whatever the chief of the, rescue squad in Pine Planks.
Okay,
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
I'm gonna recuse myself. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Um,
Approval. Did you have something real quick?
just we got that email from. Trevor, was there something?
Executive session.
Okay.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. Approval of legal notice to be sent out for sealed bids for 2027 for the highway department. Can I get a motion on that?
Make that motion.
Can I get a second?
Second,
All in favor? Aye. We also need approval to, for North Star Systems Corp. To make the repairs to the bathhouse on one of the bathroom stalls. Can I get a motion on that?
Tell us what's going on then.
Oh, you guys didn't get this?
I don't know that. yet.
Okay. So, you know how we have the partitions in the bathrooms?
Mhm.
So one of them has been damaged for a little bit. The material is hard to deal with. It's, what would you call that material, Carl? You're,
It's so much like a plastic poly type stuff.
Yeah, polypropylene.
Sure,
pipe.
we've all dealt with it.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
so they're gonna replace the, beach bathhouse, boys bathroom area material, and it's a 8-inch HDPE plaster. How do you pronounce
It
that?
says pilaster, but.
With a, yeah, with a stainless steel shoe and, aluminum stiffers and one door pull.
how much?
$1,470 to have them install it.
Well, that's not cheap, but we need to get it done.
You're paying prevailing rate, so
Yeah.
that's the going rate. Materials are $883. So,
Well,
and I don't think Carl or Rich would really want to deal with this type of material, cutting it down and everything. They're gonna cut down, remove existing, They're gonna field cut the, new panel and, make all the accommodations.
So it's really only one stall?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's all it is.
Yeah, well, I'll make that motion then. I mean, we need to get it done,
Yep.
so.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I do have one more thing. Okay.
Yep, it's on you. I'm done.
Okay. One of the planters in town, the one that is in front of the storefront that used to be Demeter and now it's for rent with the flags and stuff. One of, reportedly Welsh Sanitation, when they went to pick up one of the garbage cans, you know, they have that fork thing. It went through one of the planters. So there's a hole that's about this big. So can we contact Welsh and say, we would like you to replace the planter,
It's no longer Welsh.
or whoever it is? Huh?
Good luck is
I
right.
was just gonna say, it's the
Good
way they're gonna
luck.
come.
What are they made out of?
Yeah, what is that?
It's a fiberglass. It's really hard to damage.
Okay, so it would probably be easier to take that planter and put new fiberglass on it and patch it. Tend to deal with, yeah,
Okay, it's just the principle of the thing. I can't.
you're 100% right. It's, and for a planter to,
Just to get a hold.
Royal.
Right,
I can say probably if someone offered a garbage company around here, there would be a lot of people
yeah.
switching probably.
Could we, ask whoever's cans those are to put them further away
Yes,
next time
we
too?
should. Yeah, okay.
Unfortunately, that location, there's no other.
There's no other place, yeah, it's. where they
Because of
go
the
up there.
driveways,
Yeah.
yeah.
They can't, I mean, they could put them 3 feet away.
Which street are you talking?
Can we move the planter 2 foot?
Yeah.
Let's just move the planter 2 feet over and be done with it.
And do we, so tell me,
Yeah.
whose garbage cans are they, so I know who to talk to?
Yeah.
All right, I'll find out. I'll find out.
When's garbage pickup? Janine's gonna be standing out there waiting for it.
I'm gonna throw myself in front of the
It
garbage.
needs a broken planter,
Huh?
fiberglass on it. Let
What
me
did you say?
show it to me.
Oh, I will.
I'll see if I
And I have
can
a
fix it.
picture of it on my phone too.
Oh, yeah, that would be
Yeah.
fine. I'll tell you if I can fix it.
All right.
All right, anybody else have any new business? Okay, I'm gonna open the floor for another public comment. Everything's on the table here. What do you got, Tori? Come on, you requested this.
Oh, that's right, at the end of the meeting, yeah.
Anything?
I can always think of something to say. There was something I wanted to mention a long time ago, and it's maybe too late now, but I did just want to acknowledge Joan Osowski and Hammertown Barn. She was a long-standing employer in this community, and I worked there for many years, and no one ever walked through that door and asked for a donation and left without something, and usually something really expensive. And I'd be like, Joan, you gotta be kidding me. You just gave them an $800 chair, you know? So as I said, I worked for her for many years. To this day, I consider her the best boss I ever had. I didn't think that then. But I got older, I had more jobs, and she really made it possible to, for me to understand that you could have employers who would let you spread your wings, let you try stuff, let you fail, not treat you like a failure when you did fail, but find ways to support you so you could move forward. So I'm happy for her that her and her employees are happy to be moving on, doing new things. But I think that she was a really important piece, Hammertown was and Joan was, of Pine Plains history. And I just wanted to go on the record saying that.
Absolutely. Hopefully she enjoys her retirement.
Yeah.
Does anybody else have anything? All right. Can I get a motion to move into executive session for personnel, staff, and then,
Yeah.
well, there's one,
There you go.
personnel and staff, that's, and whatever you have.
And the attorney.
Yes.
I wanted to talk to you about 2 tax certiorari.
Okay.
proceedings. to Chetty and Bethel Cross.
Yep.
Just briefly, it won't take long.
Okay.
Is that all you have?
That's all I have. I was gonna talk to you about the double pole, but I think we,
Yes.
We seem to cover that, yeah.
Are there any decisions gonna be made?
no, just wanna give you an update on what's going on.
Okay.
But, we might make a decision in there. I think we should adjourn after we
And
come out.
personnel.
Yeah, and personnel.
Can I get a
Yeah.
motion to move in executive session?
I make a motion to go into executive session with the attorney and discuss the topics presented.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye. Do you want to pan the camera around real quick so we can see the audience?
Yeah. Can I get a motion out of executive session?
So moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
And just like that, folks, you can stand back up again.